Haven't you always wanted the chance to take control of your own company of Vikings, set off to explore a new land and build a colony? If your answer is yes, then Northgard is just the game for you. If your answer is no, then maybe you like real-time strategy games or simply like the sound of my voice and will hear me out. In Northgard, you will get the chance to do such notorious Viking things such as sending out raids, clashing with your enemies in your historically inaccurate horned helmets, surviving mystical enemies while facing down Ragnarok, and worrying about rats getting into your food. Wait, that last one sounds it's totally a Viking thing. Just trust me. So, what is Northgard? Northgard is a real-time strategy game developed by indie studio Shiro Games, also responsible for the RPG tribute games Evoland 1 and 2. Northgard was first placed on Steam Early Access in February of 2017. At that point, the game only had a few clans and had no multiplayer or campaign, but the game showed enough promise that people got excited. One of those people was me. And I purchased the game during this early access period, although I didn't stick with it much. The developers, though, did stick with it, steadily working up until the game's official launch in March of 2018. The game quickly garnered more attention and praise after release, enjoying success on the Steam charts and showing strong sales even months after, aided by the developers' continued attention given to the game. Although the developer has stated the game is going to continue being expanded on with both free updates and paid DLC, the game itself is in a finished enough state for me to feel comfortable enough making a video on it. However, I give fair warning that changes are possible. The general structure most likely won't change, but it is worth doing research if you are looking at my video months later than I am making it. There are two main game modes in Northgard: a regular skirmish and the campaign, which is called story mode. The skirmishes are done on a randomly generated map in the land of Northgard and have various resources and enemies spread out around them. There are some specific kinds of maps, the biggest example being Ragnarok, an apocalyptic map with more enemies and environmental challenges such as a massive volcano, but most of the maps are going to be fairly similar and function that way gameplay-wise. Like most real-time strategy games, in Northgard you start as a small community with a couple of villagers and have to build up your colony over time. One thing fairly unique to Northgard is that the map is split up into distinct territories that need to be claimed. You can build wherever you want in the territory once it's been claimed, but only once the area has been colonized. The territories also have building limits, so you can't just plunk down 20 houses in your starting territory. To start though, all territories except the one you start in are dark and need to be explored, so you build a scout camp, make one of your villagers a scout, and start exploring. Quick exploration is necessary for expansion to get resources. The resources in the game are food, wood, crowns, money, stone, iron, military experience, lore, and fame. The first two are the most important because of the seasonal aspect of the game. Once winter hits, consumption of wood and food increases, so you need to store up those resources before the winter, so your clan does not starve or freeze. Resource management is going to be the most important part of your game, balancing expansion with the increased strain on resources. To add complexity to this is the happiness meter. If you don't keep your clan happy, they will do poor work and you can't get more villagers. It's a balancing act to a higher degree than most real-time strategy games I've played, which makes Northgard distinct gameplay-wise in the RTS genre. The uses for each resource vary up as well. Food is used to feed the population and also colonize new areas and have feasts. Wood is used for warming Vikings, constructing buildings, and upgrading buildings. Crowns are used for upgrading buildings and workers, and can also be used to purchase resources and make military units. Stone is used for upgrading buildings, iron for improving tools, lore and military experience for technological advancement, and fame is basically the point system and one of the victory conditions. Fairly straightforward. However, the game adds little complications as you keep playing. wolves occupying ideal colonization territory, an earthquake damaging buildings, a portal expelling mythical beasts into your land that you need to defend against. You know, standard world events. Although all these events do give you advance warning, so you can adjust before that happens. Winter is the most consistent of the changes, but you can also get major blizzards that require even more food and wood to weather. I like the events, even though they mess with my plans in-game, because it helps the game avoid complacency on the player's part. There are 6 clans, each based around an animal: stag, boar, bear, goat, raven, and wolf, plus a 7th DLC clan, snake, but I don't have that one. Each clan has unique powers that give them certain advantages towards achieving victory. For victory conditions, some maps have special conditions, but the basic win conditions are fame, gather enough fame and territory to win; conquest, destroy the other clans; trade, gather enough great trade points; and lore, get all of the lore blessings. Fairly standard victory conditions, but it lets you vary up strategy, and certain clans are better at achieving certain victories. For example, the Raven clan has the advantage when it comes to trade. From what I can tell, no clan though overall has a huge advantage or disadvantage versus the other clans. But I don't play multiplayer in Northgard, so I don't know if that applies there as well. The campaign follows Rig and his allies trying to exact revenge on the man who killed his father and took the horn that symbolized power for his clan. This isn't a campaign you play for the story, even though it's not bad. I just found it background for the real meat of the campaign, which was the gameplay. The campaign serves to start as a bit of a tutorial of the game, giving the player a chance to learn how to use each clan and achieve each victory. Once that's been achieved, though, the campaign becomes a test of what you've learned, thrusting difficult scenarios on you and letting you come up with the best way to win. Each mission also has secondary objectives you can unlock after playing through once for an added challenge if you decide to replay a mission. The gameplay is really what kept me going to completing it, because I was really enjoying it and because I was learning alongside it. I knew it would also improve my enjoyment of the regular skirmishes through my better understanding of the game. The developers hinted that the campaign might not be over completely though, and more chapters might be added to the current 11. I guess we'll just have to see and hope that they keep up the good work on making a challenging but fair campaign mode. The world of Northgard looks very nice. It has a pleasant art style that is flexible in showing harsh winters, diverse enemies and allies, and pleasant summers. The art is delightful to look at, but there are times that it annoys me when it comes to gameplay. The different workers are sometimes hard to distinguish on the map of what they are. Most are distinct, but the few that aren't can sometimes trip me up. Also, whose idea was it for the rain to make it difficult to see on the map? Because it wasn't a good idea, even if it was realistic. Overall though, it's a nice looking game. Musically, the soundtrack has only a few songs, so it's good that they're all nice pieces that work in the background of the game. That's about all I have to say on the visual part. It looks and sounds nice, despite certain distinction issues and the small soundtrack. During my Age of Empires 3 video, I bemoaned the lack of quality RTS games on the market, which I stand by. That is part of what makes Northgard special, and I think one of the reasons it was a success commercially and critically. Even if it wasn't made during an era of stagnation, though, on the RTS genre front, I think Northgard would still stand out as a well-constructed game with a devoted team behind it. I like developers that really seem to care about their players, and Shiro Games is one of those developers based on their interest in player feedback and commitment to contributing quality content. The result is a nice-looking, fun-playing, worthwhile game in my opinion. If you think this game may be for you, give it a try and explore and expand your Viking clan all over Northgard. I'll be doing the same, and I hope you enjoy it, just like I hope you enjoyed this video. Great segue! Speaking of great, have a great day and happy gaming.